Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So do you take time, sister, to celebrate your wins? Like really, do you celebrate your wins? There's so much of the time that you may spend beating yourself up, right? Focusing on all the times that, in your words, you suck. I didn't get this done. I dropped the ball on this. Like, you become very good at celebrating your losses or your failures. And I'm going to have you consider that even inside of those failures or those losses or those things that you said you didn't do, there's lessons and gifts for you to see. There's something amazing that's inside of that if you take the time to look. If you use the tools that I actually teach inside a group I created called The Sisterhood, which you can join us in for 7 days for the first free 7 days at drkarenosborne.com/sisterhood. Link will be in the show notes. And I do with my clients that coach group, one-on-one, and at live events. To really understand that there is great shit inside of those dark moments. However, it is also very important that we stop and we celebrate them, like we acknowledge them, right? If you don't take time just to stop and acknowledge the shit that you've created, the things that you've been through, the things that you've done, the woman that you've become, the woman that you're becoming, then like what are we doing this for, right? So I remember when my husband used to run marathons years and years ago. And he would, finish a race. He often would be miserable through the training. Like, there was some training that maybe he liked, but most of it was just like, it was such a grind for him. But he did it because he wanted like the achievement, the accomplishment, but he barely would cross the finish line and start looking for the next race, right? So that's the way it used to go. And even also used to too, we'd be on holidays and he's like planning out the next one. I'm like, babe, let's celebrate the win, which is the holiday that we're now on. I love it. I love that you're thinking ahead. That's awesome. But we have to appreciate where we are right now in this moment. And if you don't take the time, sister, to look back at the things that have been wins in your life, big or small, however you define those, again, what the fuck are we doing this for? Just to go, oh, I did that, I accomplished that, And when you take a look at those wins, if there isn't that feeling of accomplishment, joy, happiness, right? So here's why I bring up this episode and what's really inspired me, encouraged me to do this. So 2 things. Number 1, I heard a podcast from my friend Tommy Baker from the Resist Average podcast. I will link up the episode that I listened to. And actually, all of Tommy's podcast episodes are good. The ones I've listened to are fantastic. He's just a really great guy. I met him when I spoke at an event called Meltdown in the Desert in June of 2017 and really connected with him and just awesome dude. So we had JP Sears. You probably know JP Sears unless you've been under the rock of no internet. You will have seen one of JP Sears' videos, right? One of his funny videos, but he had him on the podcast. It's so interesting to hear JP Sears as just himself and not the character that he plays in his viral videos. And so one of the things that Tommy actually mentioned at the beginning of the episode, even before he had JP on, was talking about an exercise that he does each year and has done over the last several years of taking a look at the top 100 wins of that year. And I remember listening, I'm like, 100? Dude. And I run the whole thing up, because like Tommy, he's got a, committed girlfriend, but I'm like, it's not the same as married. I'm like, dude, you're not married, don't have kids, like, have fun making up or having the time to do that list of top 100 wins. And then I don't know, it's really kind of reflecting on me more. What's been kind of sandwiched on top of that is something that I created for my husband as a gift. And we just recently celebrated 25 years since we first met. 25 years. A little bit more than half my life. So we met when I was 23, he was 22. December 20th, 1992. Crazy, right? And so what I did for Ed is I created a video, which I actually had my friend put together, who is brilliant. Big shout out to Jeremy Finley from Warrior. And it who never does shit like this. Jeremy and I just first met when we had the privilege to be able to share our experience within the game of Warrior in November, like literally just three and a half weeks ago in Laguna Beach. So I met Jeremy for the first time then. You know, like you meet people online and that whole experience and you get to know people and that thing, but it's different obviously when, you know, you're face to face with people. So Jeremy I met, and I before that I told him about this project I wanted to do, and I'm like, I was thinking of having someone else do it because I'm not going to sit there and try to put video together. I could do it. It would be shitty. That's just not my wheelhouse. I just didn't have the time for that. So I put together all the pictures, videos, and narrative, the music, and I said, this is my intention. This is what I want to do. And so Jeremy created this incredible piece, which you follow me on my personal page, you'll be able to watch that. I might put up on the Woman Wanting More Facebook page as well. And it's really, you know, the purpose was to document our 25 years together and to really tell that story, which Jeremy helped me do so beautifully with all the pieces and put them together. And in that process, it was so, you know, it's as much as a gift to me, not only to see the finished product, which I watch each time and I just bawl, but to really look back over our 25 years together, like all of the shit that we've been through, all the amazing things that have happened, but a lot of really fucking challenging times. Like really fucking challenging times. And, you know, within all of that, it's made me even more appreciate the exercise of reflecting back, right? Of like really looking back, like, look how far we've come, right? Look how far that we have come in this whole experience, in this journey, in our life together. And so this morning I got up and I was like, you know what? I'm doing this top 100. So I started to kind of go through in my head. I was actually going to look back on the calendar on a wall that has our personal things like trips and that kind of thing and speaking engagements and events that we've run and all those things to kind of help me. But I just went through in memory as I sat on my favorite chair in the living room and went through More For and journaled this morning. And as I started to go through, I mean, it was interesting because I would write something, but then I would write something about that thing. So it's taken me a little bit of time. So I got to 18 and I'm like, okay, I got it before kids get up. I got to do my reading, my study, my Facebook posts, send my text to husband. I go through all my normal More For stuff, which by the way, if you don't already receive the newsletter, which you need to, holy shit, if you listen to the podcast, you got to be on the Woman Wanting More newsletter to be part of this tribe and the VIP access, because you also get access to, if you hear me talk about More For, you're like, what the hell is that? More For is really a system, a way to start your day in power. And so I have a PDF worksheet and a video that explains it. And I give it to you as a gift when you join the newsletter. So head over to drkarenosborne.com to get that. Again, link will be in the show notes. And I started this, so I got to 18. And I'm going to keep going. And so right now as I record this episode, it's December 24th, day before Christmas. And I'm going to continue the process until December 31st. Probably finish it a few days before that. I'll do that as part of my journaling the next several mornings. And I put it out as a challenge inside a coaching program I created called the Sisterhood, inside a free group I created called the Women Wanting More Experience. And it's so incredible and fun to look back because life moves quickly. If you're creating and you're living this life of more that I speak of here in the podcast, it'll go even faster and you will forget. And so looking back is really a way to, yes, not only celebrate those wins, but again, for you to really honor and appreciate and acknowledge like everything you've done, who you've become, how you've gotten to here. It is important. It is important. Just like, you know, if you're a parent, we celebrate our kids' wins. We make a big deal about them. Why don't we do the same with our own? So here's your more tip for today. This is a short and sweet episode because, you know, you get the gist of this, right? You're going to sit down with your journal. If you want to have one long blast, like, I don't know, maybe it could just take you an hour. Maybe it'll be 2 hours. Maybe it's going to be like me. It's going to be the next several mornings that I journal and I go through this list. Like, I'm just enjoying it. I'm not seeing it as a task I want to do. I'm like, oh yeah, this is what this experience really meant for me. This is what it felt like for me to go through this. And to make a list of your top 100 wins for 2017. Now, you might be listening to this 2018, maybe 2019, right? If you're going back through old episodes now as I'm talking to future you in present me. If that makes any sense? So you can choose whatever you want to. If you're halfway through a year, like take a look at the last 6 months. Hell, 100 wins over the last 6 months. If you're listening to this in June of 2018, or any other time in between that. Like, really take this time. This is a very meaningful exercise. And I know that you may listen to the podcast, these more tips, and go, yeah, that's cool, I'll do it. No, commit to fucking doing this. And then I will tell you what, when you finish doing this, send me an email, drkaren@drkarenosborne.com, and I would really love to hear from you. Share with me what this experience did for you. What did you learn from this? What did you get from doing this and really looking back and celebrating what you've done, what you've come through, what you've accomplished over this last year? So listen, I mentioned the newsletter already, journal. Oh my gosh, if you don't have a journal yet, I've sent 308, I think, to date as I record this podcast right now, which is coming out about a week and a half later. The 308 journals that have gone out to women at 12 to 14, I forget the count now, countries around the world. Yes, wherever you live, I will send it to you. I will send it to you. I promise you that. It is my gift to you. You take care of a little bit of shipping, and I take care of all the rest, and I've got some surprises in there for you too. So head over to drkarenosborne.com/free journal, and I will send that to you in the next few weeks. So talk to you in the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborne.com/newsletter.